You've been told you're too quiet your whole life, and you smiled, nodded, and said nothing, because that's what you do. But here's what nobody ever told you. The way you communicate isn't a flaw. It's actually one of the most psychologically advanced traits a person can have. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand yourself in a way most people never will. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a room full of people, laughing, talking, being loud, and you just watched? Not because you were awkward, not because you were scared, but because something felt off. The energy was forced. The conversations felt hollow. Nobody was really saying anything. So you stayed quiet, and someone looked at you and said, "Why are you so quiet?" Like silence is a disease, like you needed to be fixed. You don't. Here's the truth that psychology actually confirms. Quiet people are not always quiet. Put them in the right room with the right people talking about something that actually matters, and they won't shut up. You've seen this before. The person who barely spoke at the office party but talked for 3 hours straight at a dinner with close friends. That's not inconsistency. That's context. And understanding that one word, context, changes everything. Psychologists call it social filtering, and quiet people do it constantly, without even realizing it. Every time they enter a conversation, their brain is running a silent background check. Is this environment genuine? Do these people actually listen? Is what I say going to matter here? If the answer is no, they don't waste their words. Not because they're cold, not because they think they're better than you, but because they've learned, through experience, that not every room deserves their voice. Think about it. You don't give your phone password to strangers. You don't leave your front door open for anyone. Why would you open your mind to people who won't respect what's inside? Quiet people figured this out early, but here's where it gets interesting. The same person who said nothing at your work meeting, put them with someone they trust and watch what happens. They joke, they debate, they go deep, they talk about things most people never talk about because the variable didn't change. They didn't change. The environment did. Harvard researcher Amy Edmondson has a term for this: psychological safety, the belief that you can speak without being judged, mocked, or dismissed. When quiet people feel that safety, they open up completely. When they don't, silence is not rudeness. It's self-preservation. Stop for a second. Think about the quietest person you know, not the shy one, the quiet one, the one who sits back, observes, says little. But when they do speak, everyone listens. Why is that? Because quiet people don't speak to fill silence. They speak when they have something worth saying. Every word they use has been thought through, weighed, considered. While everyone else was performing, they were processing. While everyone else was talking, they were understanding. This is why when a quiet person finally says something, it lands differently. It carries weight that 100 casual sentences never could. And here's the science behind it. Research shows that introverts have higher activity in the areas of the brain linked to internal processing, planning, and problem solving. They're not disengaged, they're running deeper. Now let's talk about something most people get completely wrong. When quiet people go silent in social settings, it's not because they hate being around people. It's because socializing costs them more energy than it costs you. For extroverts, social interaction is a battery charger. For introverts, it's a battery drain. And they feel it quickly. Fake small talk, loud environments, conversations that go nowhere. All of it hits harder when your nervous system is already more sensitive to stimulation. So they conserve, they go quiet. Not because they checked out, but because they're protecting their capacity to be present for what actually matters. Here's where people make the biggest mistake. They see the silence, and they fill it with assumptions. They're arrogant. They think they're too good to talk. They're antisocial. Something must be wrong with them. But quiet people rarely correct those assumptions, not because they can't. Because they've already decided. If you're the kind of person who judges silence, you're probably not the kind of person they want to explain themselves to. And that decision right there, that's not weakness. That's one of the clearest signs of psychological self-awareness you'll ever see in a person. I want you to really hear this part. If you're someone who doesn't talk much, you've probably spent years wondering if something was wrong with you. Society kept telling you to speak up, be louder, be more outgoing, take up more space, and maybe you tried, and it felt exhausting because it wasn't you. Here's what I need you to know. Some of the most powerful minds in human history were quiet. Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Rosa Parks, Warren Buffett. Not quiet because they had nothing to say. Quiet because they understood something most people never learn, that your words are currency. Spend them wisely. So the next time someone asks you, why are you so quiet? You don't owe them an explanation, because the truth is, you're not quiet everywhere. You're quiet here, and maybe, just maybe, that tells you everything you need to know about where here is. Find your people, find your room, find where your voice feels at home, because when you do, you won't be quiet at all. If this video felt like it was written about you, share it with one person who's always been told they're too quiet. They need to hear this.